So for this little layer that I'm calling the big flats, we're just going to separate the page into the main elements. And this can be a good exercise because it also forces you to think about which elements you have to work with in every panel, what things need to come forward, what things need to go back. And when I say come forward and go back, I mean visually. We're going to be creating focus in places. We're going to be creating areas that are simpler and not as eye-catching. That's all sort of part of this process. So it's a good idea to go ahead and start working on that at this stage. You know what's coming that way. Now, how you actually break this up is totally up to you. What I'm going to do is think about it as like a foreground, middle ground, background. That's an option. You might also just think about the focus of the panel versus the surroundings of the panel. There's a lot of ways to do this. But I'm going to start by clicking the brush. Again, make sure that I'm on that flatting brush. I'm going to pick a different color. Again, it doesn't really matter what it is at this stage. And I'm going to zoom up. And I'm going to start drawing. I'm going to pick a color that's a very different value so that I can see it easily. And I'm going to trace out this little edge along here. And all the way across the bottom. Now you can see that I'm going outside the lines a little bit here. So if you want to avoid that, let me back up here a little bit. We can go back to our panels layer. I can choose the selection tool, make sure it's set to automatic, and by clicking that color, it will choose all of that color on that layer, which in this case is the first layer. So now I can go back to my big flats and not have to worry about going outside that line. But once I've got that done, I can grab my color once I've got the border done and just drop that in. And let's make sure that that works properly. You can see there's a couple of places where you see a few dots here, so you can drag that threshold over a little bit before you let it go, and that'll fill that in. Now in this panel, the focus is really about this building that's across here in the middle, so I'm going to do that next. I've still got my panel selected, so I'm not worrying about going outside the lines. I'm going to grab a different color and start selecting this little section. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, this seems like this would take a while. Correct. It will. Even for professionals, this is a time-consuming part of the process. But again, I'm basically just wanting to separate all of this out from its surroundings. I'm just making sure that all of this connects all the way across so that when I fill in a second, we don't have a bunch of stray stuff going on here. Go down this way. I like to turn my canvas a lot. Some people do, some people don't. It's totally up to you. I could probably be a little bit neater here, but we really would be here all day. And these lessons are limited how long they can be, so we will be, I'll be skipping some of this stuff. But anyway, so now we've got our outline. Again, just drag that color in and drop it. So now you may be thinking, well, why do this way? Later on, when we start coloring this will make a lot more sense, but I can easily grab this foreground element, the main element, and everything surrounding it, all by using the selection tool now. Because it's set to automatic, I can click the top, I can click the bottom, I can undo that. We can just click the building, we can just click the foreground. This makes it very easy for us to go in and shift these colors around later. And I'm not worried about flatting everything at this stage because I just want to get the big shapes in there for now. We're going to do that, the details in a second. All right, again, switch into a different color. I'm going to make sure, again, this is a color that really stands out so I can see it. And if you make a mistake, again, if you go outside the lines like I just did a little bit there, you can hold down, depending on what your settings are. I've got the color selection set to the little button between the, I'm clicking it over here, I don't know if you can't see it, on the far left side between the two sliders. I've got that set to click the canvas, which will set the color that you've chosen. So I can just grab that green and fill that back in. Then grab the white again and keep going. As a flattening tool goes, I would say Procreate's not bad. There are probably other tools that might make this a little bit simpler, but it still doesn't, it's not going to speed you up too much because this, whether you're doing it with a lasso or you're doing it like this, it's all time consuming, unfortunately. Again, once you've got all that border selected, drag that color in and drop it. I'm not going to do anything with this wastebasket because we can see straight through it, so you can leave that or you can color it if you want. All right, so that's 2 panels down. We'll do this third one. And again, in this panel, the only real elements are her in the background. So that's what I'm going to select. I'm going to choose a slightly different color. And start going around all of these edges. Again, if you make a mistake, just switch to the other color and switch right back. Think about this stage as like you're trying to build a fence all the way around the edge. And if there's any openings, we're not going to be able to fill it properly. So, and some of this hair, it's just easier to just, while you're here, just go ahead and fill it. And I accidentally draw on the canvas sometimes when I'm trying to rotate the canvas. The palm rejection's pretty good in this software, but it's not perfect. For me personally, it's more comfortable to color vertically, to draw lines up and down than it is side to side. So anytime I have a long run, I usually will turn my canvas up on its side, but you don't have to. And you can always go back and change and shift this around at any time just by clicking on this brush and going back in and making adjustments. Now when you have an opening like this, you want to make sure you get all the way around it selected, otherwise it'll just fill. We don't want the little loop of hair filled in there. Alright, if I didn't miss anything, this should stay in the lines. Yay! So you guys kind of get the idea here on the big flatting section. Now, what I would do, which I don't really have time for the sake of this lesson, but what I would do next in this panel is to go through and select all of her and fill it. And then pick a different color, select him, and fill it. Pick another color, click her, and fill it. Doing that all the way across all of these people and doing slightly different colors so that we can grab each one. And then the entire background would pretty much be its own section as well. And I will provide you guys with my flatted version in the course as well. So if you are familiar with this, or if it's not a part of the process you really want to get into, I'll give you guys my flatted file with all the other layers. You'll be able to see that. So I'll make sure this is all set up before the next lesson.